Vanessa Harris, a sharp, ambitious, and highly successful Black CEO, arrives at an upscale hotel for a prestigious tech summit. Dressed in a sophisticated suit, she's ready to deliver the keynote address. But as soon as she walks into the lobby, the receptionist, a young woman, looks her up and down with a raised brow and tells her to wait outside. Have you ever been underestimated just because of who you are? Don't forget to subscribe to Dark Side of Luna, where 1,000 episodes are on the way, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Vanessa, stunned but calm, tries to explain that she's the keynote speaker, but the receptionist dismisses her again, too busy to even listen. The hotel's failure to recognize her status, despite the tailored suit and the event's clear signage, leaves her feeling humiliated, but she refuses to let this racist microaggression disrupt her day. Instead of letting the injustice eat at her, Vanessa steps back and makes a decision. She's not going to stay at this hotel, and neither are the hundreds of professionals attending the summit. In a moment of sheer leadership, she picks up her phone and makes a call to the venue she had booked the event at. Within minutes, the summit is moved to a new location, one that respects diversity, equality, and professionalism. Her quick thinking has a massive ripple effect. The event, now relocated to a stunning venue, becomes the talk of the town. Business executives, tech innovators, and media outlets flood in to hear her keynote speech. As Vanessa begins her address, she talks about the importance of inclusivity, respect, and the impact of racial bias in professional spaces. The crowd listens intently, captivated not just by her words, but by the fire in her spirit. As the summit unfolds, the hotel receives a backlash, and the receptionist, now publicly named and shamed, is held accountable. Vanessa's decision to move the event not only saved her dignity, but also sent a powerful message to the corporate world about treating people with respect, regardless of their race, gender, or background. The entire company is forced to reevaluate their policies, as their reputation takes a severe hit. The media coverage of the summit's success and the hotel's failings bring a wave of support to Vanessa. One of the world's most influential investors contacts her directly, offering her the opportunity to turn her tech company into a global powerhouse. Vanessa, calm and collected, accepts the offer, knowing this is just the beginning of her rise. With the support of her new partners, she goes on to expand her company into new global markets, advocating for diversity and inclusion every step of the way. Her victory over this simple act of discrimination becomes the symbol of what it truly means to turn adversity into opportunity. Vanessa's powerful public statement reminds everyone of one crucial truth: stand up for yourself when the world tries to put you down, because only then can you change the world around you. As the days passed, Vanessa's decision continued to resonate across the industry. She began receiving calls from high-profile executives, invitations to speak at global forums, and offers for partnerships with top-tier tech companies. She became the face of resilience in the face of adversity, her story serving as an example of how one woman's quiet strength could disrupt an entire industry. But her victory was far from over. The hotel, in a last-ditch attempt to salvage their reputation, issued a public apology. However, their response only fueled the fire. Vanessa, never one to shy away from holding others accountable, refused to accept their apology. She demanded tangible action. She called for the hotel to launch a diversity and inclusion training program for all employees, a clear message that merely apologizing wasn't enough. The hotel agreed, but Vanessa's terms were strict. She insisted on oversight by an independent third party, ensuring that real change took place and wasn't just for show. As the months went on, the summit's success continued to grow. Vanessa's company expanded rapidly, diversifying their product line and reaching new markets. She was recognized as one of the top CEOs in the country, using her platform to mentor young Black entrepreneurs and create scholarships for tech students from marginalized backgrounds. Vanessa's story was one of triumph, not just over personal injustice, but over the systemic inequalities that so many face daily. Her brand became synonymous with integrity, innovation, and change. The very hotel that had once disrespected her now had to reckon with its role in that history. They eventually implemented new policies for recognizing and respecting diverse leaders, a transformation that sparked change across the hospitality industry. Through it all, Vanessa never forgot the moment that started it all, the moment she was told to wait outside. She used it as fuel to keep pushing forward, knowing that her actions would echo in the industry for years to come. Her message to the world was clear. Never let anyone diminish your worth, no matter the circumstances. When the world tries to box you in, step outside those boundaries and build your own path. So as Vanessa's story reaches even more people across the globe, it's a reminder to all of us that true leadership comes not from titles, but from the courage to stand up, speak out, and never settle for anything less than respect. As Vanessa's empire expanded, she continued to build on her platform, and her name became synonymous with change, respect, and defiance against systemic discrimination. However, just when it seemed like things couldn't get any better, a bombshell dropped that would change everything. One day, Vanessa received an anonymous package at her office. It was a collection of surveillance footage from the night of the incident at the hotel, footage that had been kept hidden until now. As she sat down to watch, Vanessa's jaw dropped. The footage revealed something that no one could have expected. The receptionist who had turned her away was in fact part of an underground network of corporate sabotage. This network targeted successful black CEOs, undermining their credibility, and it had been operating under the radar for years. The more Vanessa uncovered, the deeper the web of deception unraveled. The receptionist wasn't just an individual acting out of prejudice. She was part of a coordinated effort that reached the highest levels of several major companies, all working to undermine the rise of black leaders in the corporate world. Vanessa was astounded, and she realized that this wasn't just about her anymore. It was about an entire system that needed to be exposed. With this shocking revelation, Vanessa knew she couldn't just sit back. She used the footage as leverage, calling for a full investigation into the network. The corporate giants involved tried to silence her, but Vanessa wasn't afraid. She made the footage public, sparking a media frenzy and a national conversation about corporate racism and systemic discrimination. As the investigation snowballed, several high-ranking executives were implicated, and the companies involved were forced to make major changes, including diversity audits and anti-discrimination measures that went beyond just surface-level policies. The world watched as Vanessa took control of the narrative, not only dismantling the network that had tried to bring her down, but using it as a catalyst to build a stronger, more inclusive future for all leaders. Her bold move set a new standard in corporate accountability, and soon, Vanessa's actions became a case study in business schools around the world, inspiring a new generation of leaders to fight back against oppression with intelligence, strategy, and unwavering courage. Vanessa's story, her fight, her triumph had only just begun. She'd gone from being a leader in tech to becoming a global symbol of resilience and justice. She wasn't just changing the industry, she was redefining it. As Vanessa continued to lead with strength and grace, the winds of change she had set in motion began to blow even stronger. The corporate world, once resistant to change, was forced to confront the truth. Policies were rewritten, diversity was celebrated, and doors that were once closed to people like Vanessa were now wide open. Her influence reached beyond the boardrooms and into communities, where young aspiring black entrepreneurs saw her not just as a success story, but as a beacon of hope. Vanessa's company, once small and underestimated, grew into an empire, one built on values of fairness, inclusion, and respect. The tech summit she had been disrespected at became one of the most successful events in industry history, with Vanessa as its keynote speaker. She inspired others to take bold actions, to stand tall in the face of injustice, and to demand the respect they deserve. With her influence continuing to grow, Vanessa decided to take her message to an even wider audience. She started a foundation dedicated to helping underrepresented groups rise to the top, empowering women and minorities to break through barriers and claim their seats at the table. She knew her fight was far from over, but she was ready for whatever came next. And for those who had doubted her, the world watched as Vanessa proved time and time again that nothing could stop her. Because she didn't just break the glass ceiling, she shattered it. Vanessa's story is proof that resilience, grace, and determination can overcome any obstacle. If you're ready to take control of your destiny, make sure to subscribe to Dark Side of Luna. 1,000 episodes are on their way, and you won't want to miss what's next in this incredible journey of empowerment, transformation, and triumph. Remember, greatness is within you, and like Vanessa, you can rewrite the rules of success.